All right, everybody. Thank you so much for dialing in for week 1 of our Fast Track to Executive Training. My name is Lauren Sims, and we are so excited to have just an amazing guest on the line tonight. So, Janny, if you want to go ahead and unmute and bring Travis to the line, we are ready to get the call started.
Oh my gosh, I would so love to do that. So, you guys, I would love to introduce Travis.
You're talking. We can't hear a darn thing.
You guys on? Can you hear me?
Janny, we can hear you fine.
Beautiful. Okay. So, you guys, I'm so excited to introduce Travis. He just sent me a bio, so I'm just going to read that for you really quick. But he is our Senior Vice President and Chief Sales and Marketing Officer for Isagenix. He's responsible for the field development promotions. He's responsible for sales, marketing, communications, and recognition for all of North America. Prior to joining Isagenix, Travis was the national vice president of another network marketing company where he served as the lead executive for field support and growth in North America. Under his leadership, Travis implemented strategies which resulted in some of the company's most successful growth in years in history, with revenues reaching nearly $1 billion in sales. In his 16-year career in sales and marketing, Travis has remained an avid student of network marketing and has worked in some of the most successful leaders in the industry. He knows what it takes to move a business forward and from the very beginning to $1 million in sales. Travis is passionate and dedicated to helping people succeed in Isagenix and stays continually focused on implementing new strategies and tools to get them to achieve their physical and financial goals. Travis is also a devoted father of 4 who loves youth sports, the outdoors, and traveling with his family. So Travis, welcome. Thank you so much for kicking off our Zoom call. We're so excited, so happy to have you here. A couple of things that you guys may not know about Travis is that he is an amazing dancer. We went on President's Quest with him, my daughter Erica and I did, and we had a blast with him. He knows how to cut loose and have a really great time. Another thing that you may know about him is that he is one of these guys that makes everybody feel so good when they're around him. He builds greatness into people. He is so responsible for the success of my business and so many of the leaders that are on this Zoom call. So Travis, thank you so much for joining us. We love you. We are so thankful that you're here, and you exemplify Mr. Wonderful in Isagenix. So thank you for joining us. I think he's muted.
I can unmute him, Janny. I just have to find him. Travis, are you calling in from a number, or are you on video? Ooh. You guys saw him? Okay.
I don't think he can hear us, but if he can just
I got it.
Unmute. Got it? Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Lauren.
Sorry, Travis. You're fine.
All right. Well, you know, the beautiful thing about Zoom is that you can watch everybody and see what everybody's hearing. So if you can hear me, nod your head yes. Perfect. All right. So we know that we have everyone. And I just want to say thank you for joining on the Zoom call today and the opportunity for us to talk with you a little bit about what's happening around the world of Isagenix. First of all, I want to congratulate you for advancing to the world of technology. Isn't it amazing that we're joining from all over North America on technology where we can see each other, we can talk with each other. And tonight is really just a recognition of you participating in the 90-day game plan and really moving your business, for those who are choosing, moving your business forward. I want to talk about a couple of aspects, and I was going to show a PowerPoint presentation, but it looks like we're not going to be able to show it. So I'm going to talk through those through the PowerPoint that I had available for you. The first point I want to
sorry, it's Lauren. I can pull up the slides. I have them if you want to
Perfect.
do it.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Do you see it?
Yep, we got it. So if you put it on as far as the presenter view, that would be great, Lauren. Thank you. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about, if you can see here, in this, again, technology is great, but what I want to talk about in the 90-day game plan is that for many of you, you're involved with now starting this journey of 90 days, saying, you know what, we're going to be involved with contacts. We're going to be involved with setting up appointments. We're going to be involved with showing people exactly what they need to be doing. But I want to talk a little bit about what this means. And so many of our leaders out in Isogenics, when they think of 90-day game plan or growing an Isogenics business, I want to take a step back and talk about some stories that I think make the difference for some of our leaders. Now, for many of you, your goal is to make an extra $1,000 or $2,000 extra a month. Some of you much higher than that, and that's okay. If you're building an Isogenics business, we want you to shoot for the stars. But I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that I've seen and what makes a successful leader in this business, and that is giving back. And the reason why I have these slides shown here, if you can move to the next slide, Lauren, is Scott Harrison. I want to talk a little bit about Scott Harrison. Scott Harrison was he was a bartender in New York City, and not with Isogenics. It was just a story I read. But what was interesting is that for his 31st birthday, they were going to go celebrate. And of course, where were they going to go? They were going to go to a bar and they were going to celebrate his success. But what I want to talk about is this entrepreneurial spirit of giving back. Scott Harrison decided that, hey, listen, there's so many people in need, and he learned about countries that were suffering with no drinking water. And for his birthday, instead of buying alcohol, he said, why doesn't everybody donate water so that we can give back to these communities that have no water, these countries, these third world countries that have no water whatsoever, they're fighting for clean water. Well, over that time, over a 2-year time frame, as he has developed this plan to give back to people, Scott Harrison is now in a position where he's raised over $50 million for people around the world with drinking water. Now, what I believe what made Scott so successful, it wasn't about the money that he was going to make. It was about giving back and showing people that there was more around life. Now, the next slide here, if you can move the next slide, Lauren. I want to talk a little bit about Isogenics. Kyle and Carolyn Twietmeyer, some of you know who they are, but Carolyn, Kyle Twietmeyer, they are 6-star golden circles. They're almost 7-star golden circles. They were a founder of the nonprofit Hopeful, provides global support for orphan children. Now, they've adopted 8 children, and they've birthed 7, if you can believe it. They've adopted 8 and birthed 7. Now, when they were building this orphanage and they were working with people, these kids around the world, they were also starting their Isogenics business. And what was amazing to me is that they were so busy. They had no time to build an Isogenics business, but when they were building an Isogenics business, their drive was to help people. It was to show people that there was more available to them. For many of you sitting on this conference call, you can give more. You can do more. It's not just necessarily about the dollars that you're going to earn. And some of you, yes, it is very, very important. But I'd like to show some of these examples, real life examples of people who have used Isogenics to give back, to show people that there's more opportunity. So when you think about a 90-day game plan, I want you to think of the people that you can help along the way. It's not just about making money. It's about showing people that they can have a health transformation. It's showing people that they can have a financial future with Isogenics, that they can have supplemental income, that they can have another stream of income. That's what I love about this story. Next slide is Deanna Falchook, Deanna and Mark Falchook. They're out of the Carolina areas. They are 7-star golden circles. They are earning multiple 6-figure income. They're parents of 8, 2 biological, 1 by marriage, and 5 adopted. Now, the reason, again, why I'm sharing these stories is that many of you are giving back in different ways. Maybe it's not adoption. Maybe it's not through giving back through helping orphan children. But I want you to think about what you can do to give back to people in Isogenics. Now, the next slide is Sarah Rhew. She's a START member. She's someone who has served as an emergency room nurse. She's also, after quitting her job, she joined a medical team to serve communities in Nicaragua. And since 2014, she's served 3 trips. Now, the reason why I share these stories with you is it's the spirit of giving back. The 90-day game plan is going to be a successful journey for you, but I don't want you to think about it just the data, just the numbers, just to earn more money. I want you to think about it in a way that you can give back because it makes so much more sense. Now let's move to the next slide. Justin, Hilary, Courtney, they adopted a 17-year-old kid, who had nowhere to go. They felt like they needed to help this child that had no relation to him. So Hilary and Justin Courtney, 14-star platinum. They're earning over $100,000 a month, and they felt that they could do more with their lives. For many of you in the 90-day game plan, you can make a lot of change in your own life, but a lot of change in people's lives as a whole. Now, the next slide is JJ and Raina Birden. These are just a few of examples that we have seen. JJ and Raina Birden have 8 children, 3 biological and 5 adopted, that were nieces and nephews that were under tough times. Under normal circumstances, they probably would be out with a foster home or nowhere to go. Now, the reason why I share these with you is that in Isagenix, we have this spirit of giving back. We truly have this spirit of giving back. And what I love about what we see with our leadership is that they're always giving back. If you think of Janny Elo, you think of Lauren Sims, you think of Cindy Hedges, you think of all of these people, what I believe is just a correlation that people are always giving back. Next slide is Lisa Ceballos. She is she's a corporate employee. And as a corporate employee, she's helped over 10 students and hosting them from around the world. Inside of Isagenix, we give back. And we see it all over. Marina Sandoval is our next slide. She left Isagenix. She worked in our recognition department, and she helped to drive all the awards for Celebration, all the awards for NYKO, all the awards for our Isagenix universities. She's there in the pink shirt. She just left for a 2-year mission in Peru in the Peace Corps to give back. Our spirit at Isagenix is so much more. And the reason why I share this with you is that when we think of a 90-day game plan, I want you to think of not only saying, okay, what can I do, but what can I do to give back? When you think of it that way, and when I think of our leaders who have been successful, they have always given back. So I want you to think of a couple of things when you think of a 90-day game plan. Number one, who can I help? Who can I help along the way? And when you have this visualization in your mind as far as what am I going to do, and you think about, listen, if I'm going to build my contact list with people that I can help, people that I can show, people that I can give back to, when you do that, I promise you things start to change. Number one, when you think about giving back and the stories that you provide, number one, you're going to build a contact list. For many of you, you already have your contact list, and some of you cheat yourself. You cheat this opportunity because you're saying, I'm going to be successful in the 90-day game plan, but they truly don't have a contact list. If I asked all of you right now by a raise of hands, how many of you have a contact list of at least 20 people right now that you could contact? Many of you say yes. Many of you will say yes. I appreciate that. Kate, Sears, I appreciate that. Janelle, I appreciate that. That some of you don't. Some of you are saying, well, I'm not ready quite there yet. If you're in a 90-day game plan, you need to build that contact list. Number one, you have to build your contact list. And maybe it's just not about building business. Maybe it's the people that you want to help. Maybe it's just somebody that you want to drive. And maybe somebody's going to return the favor for you. Maybe you were on somebody's contact list and you were wanting to build this business. Number two is you want to set up appointments. No matter what you're doing throughout the week, how you're moving your business forward, what are you doing to drive appointments? It's one of the critical things that we find in 90-day game plans, setting up appointments. Now, if I were to ask the question of this group, how many appointments are you setting up this week? In your first week of the 90-day game plan, is it 1, is it 2, is it 3? I can tell you successful businesses that are driving the 90-day game plan that are going to move forward are setting up anywhere from 3 to 5 appointments this week, week number 1. Why? Some of you might say, oh, I don't even have a contact list. The reason why we talk to people about setting up appointments 3 to 5 is that it will force them to get out. It'll force them to think of people that they can help. It'll force them to give back, to show people. 3 to 5 appointments this week will make all the difference in your first stages of a 90-day game plan. What are you doing to set up appointments? Number 3, listen, some of you, are on this call, number 3 is doing quality presentations. Now, what do I mean by quality presentations? Some of you will do a presentation at Starbucks. Some of you will do a Zoom call like we're doing tonight. Some of you will sit at somebody's home. Some of you may do it in a kitchen. Some of you may, wherever you're at. But whenever you're doing a presentation, make sure that you do a quality presentation. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't cheat yourself of doing a 10-minute presentation. Show them exactly what it's like to take the products. Show them exactly what it's like to be a part of this culture and this community. Don't think that the simplicity of a message is not important. I was just in a meeting. Susan Sly came and did a presentation here in the office, and we were talking about all the rank advancement bonuses. We were talking about all of the ways that you can earn them with Isagenix. We were talking about all of the events in the community, and you could just see in people's faces, you could just see in the guests that they were so overwhelmed. They were so confused. How many have ever been in a presentation where you were like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to begin? How many have ever been that way? Yeah, you've been there. We've all been there. And so when you're doing an appointment and you're setting up the appointment and you're doing a presentation, remember, keep it simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Keep it very basic. Tell them your why you're in this business, that you're here to give back, that you want to show people that there is hope at the end of the tunnel, that I met somebody who was an Isagenix millionaire. I met somebody who had lost 100 pounds. But keep it simple. You don't have to overcomplicate the message. For many of you, you will be in a situation where you're going to try to talk too much. I promise you, when you introduce Isagenix and you give a quality presentation, it's about the company, the culture, the community, and the products. And then if they want to build a business, then you introduce them. Don't overcomplicate it. I can't stress enough. A presentation, number 3, presentation, keep it simple. Number four is probably the Achilles heel. It will kill any business. Long term, it will kill any business. And some of you don't do a very good job of it, and some of you do an excellent job. When you think of a 90-day game plan, no matter where you're at and what you're doing, if you're doing 1, set up appointments, 2, you're starting to do setting up appointments, and 3, you're doing presentations. Number 4 is very critical, and that is follow-up. Some of you do not know what to say. You're so nervous about following up that they might quit. You're so nervous about what to follow up when they open up the package. You're so nervous about showing them isaproduct.com or IsaCleanse. Now, for those who are involved with the 90-day game plan, those who are most successful set up a system. Now, tonight is a start of your 90-day game plan. People set up systems. When you're having new people join your teams, regardless if they're in for the health reasons or for the business reasons, if you're not following up with them with what to do next, people are always asking the questions. Now, just think about this for a minute. When people join Isagenix or they're thinking about joining Isagenix, they're asking themselves 3 questions, and we've heard this before. Can I do it? Do I have time to do it? And is it worth it? Now, the presentation that I held the other day with Susan Sly, right here in this office, people were asking, that question. I asked them, I said, what are you thinking right now? And they're like, I don't know if I have the time to do it. Or some people are saying, I don't know if I have the money to do it. I don't know if it's worth it. I promise you, people will be asking you those questions. When you think about the 90-day game plan, remember, I talked about simplicity. Don't overcomplicate it. But just remember, when you're doing an appointment, you're doing a presentation, and you're sitting down with somebody, they're thinking 3 things. Do I have time to do this? Is it worth it? And can I do this? Can I really do this? I promise you, they're asking those questions. Some of you might have asked yourself those questions. So if you're smart when you're doing a presentation and you're following up with somebody, you're going to be addressing those right then. When I'm following up and I'm saying, hey, Renee Anderson, I'm following with Renee, I'm going to ask them, say, Renee, what did you like about this? It's important for me to let you know that you can do this, and that no matter what, we can find the time to work together. I know that. It's really important to address those 3 questions in the follow-up, and even when you're presenting. So number 4 is follow-up. Number five, when you're thinking about going forward and you're developing this 90-day game plan, Keep it simple. Number 5 is celebrate success. Now, some of you are extremely talented at celebrating success. Some of you are very good about giving big hugs. Some of you are good about giving a high five. Some of you are good about calling people on the phone and saying you did a great job. Some of you are very good about calling people when they're not having any success at all. Maybe they didn't enroll one person. Maybe they didn't set up 5 appointments this week, but they set up 4. Those who are very good about celebrating success in a 90-day game plan, I promise you, you will be farther along. Now, some people say, well, how do you do this? I've seen people do pajama parties. Now, it's crazy that, especially with Zoom, they were saying, listen, at the end of this 3-week contest, we're going to get in and we're going to have a pajama party. Everybody in the pajamas, we want to see the craziest pajama party ever. Now, why do people do that kind of stuff? One, because it shows that, hey, we're real. One, it shows that we have a lot of fun. It's different. Some people will say, hey, listen, we're going to have a pizza party or a salad party, or we're going to buy a dinner for a family, but celebrate success. Some of you are very good, and some of you are challenged with what to do. Number 5, celebrate success. And number 6, and the final tip that I can give you for your 90-day game plan, and that is lead by example. If you're asking people to do the contact list, if you're asking people to be involved with setting up appointments and doing quality presentations, following up and celebrating, if you're asking people to be involved with a 90-day game plan, then you will lead by example. Listen, how many of you are building a business for a lifetime? Yeah. If you're building a business for a lifetime, don't dabble. I see people all the time in their heart, they're saying, I want to do this. But in their mind, they're saying, I'm not sure if I can do this. Now, those who are committed to moving forward with the 90-day game plan, they don't just dabble. They don't put a toe in the water and say, I'm going to go swimming. They jump all in. And for some of you, you're so nervous. It's like your heart's about to jump out of your chest, because you know that it's going to be scary. You know that you're going to be nervous. You know that you might have some rejection, and you know that you may not hit all those goals. But when you have that spirit, and some of you are so powerful, some of you will become multiple 6-figure earners because you have this spirit, you have this heart pumping out of your chest. Your mind is telling you, don't stop, don't quit, don't give up. It's when you need somebody to help push you along. It's these conference calls, these Zoom calls that will make all the difference in the world. Don't ever give up. For those who are joining as groups, I commend you for coming together. There's big groups over here. Adrian McGovern, thank you so much for the group being there. I really appreciate you guys being here. It means so much. I'm so passionate about this. We have an entire office full of here that people are excited about the 90-day game plans. We have Zoom calls that are going on all over. And I just want to say thank you for all that you have done. And all of you who have led the way, I just can't thank you enough. It means the world to me for the opportunity to speak with you today. I hope these 6 tips help you along the way. You can do this. Many after 90 days, they say, it's interesting, in 90 days, what can change in the world? You think about how people measure trimesters. Think about women who are pregnant. They measure every 90 days. They call it trimesters. You think about what happened in the world when the world was created. You think about biblicals. Over 90 days, things changed. You think about what happens and you think about businesses who have grown in 90 days. A lot can happen. We know it can happen. You look at Isabody. How many people were at Celebration? How did you like those Isabody stories? What could happen in 90 and 120 days? It's so motivational. You think everybody here at the office is now on their new Isabody kick because of what they saw on those stories. So motivational. Don't ever give up. I want to say thank you for allowing me to speak, Jenny and Monin. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great 90 days. Don't quit. We will see all of you at NYKO or at an upcoming Isogenics University or University in Action. Thank you guys again.
Bye, Travis. Thank you. We're going to unmute for 1 second because I know everyone wants to say bye and thank you to you. So give us 1 second.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much, Travis. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Travis.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you.
Bye, Travis. Thank you.
Huge round of applause, Travis. You did awesome.
Muted everybody.
Hey, Jess, I'm going to mute everybody if you want to take me. Yikes.
What'd you hit to mute it? Even. Lauren, can you see me? I unmuted, I think.
We can hear you. We can see you.
You can see and hear me?
Yes.
Usually I can see myself. How do I look?
You want me to send you a screenshot?
Okay, awesome. Guys, I am so fired up hearing Travis's 6 tips. When you hear from a guy like that, like feverishly scribbling to just understand what it is to be successful, because he is behind so many successful people in this organization and he knows. And I love that we have all the people here and we've got a room full, 50 people, we're filled in this room and it's awesome. And here's what this was the brainchild of leaders that I admire so much. And I want to share that. So Janie Elo plucked me out of her blueprints and found me 4 deep and mentored me to the most incredible freeing journey. And I wrote her on Sunday night, her and Betsy and Lauren. I wrote her and I said, on a Sunday night, 3 years ago, I would have been checking in for a flight. My kids would have been already in bed, but instead, last night I had them out getting ice cream, hanging out on the beach at 8:30 at night, and just this opportunity to have that kind of freedom. And that is responsible. Janie Elo, Woman of the Year, such a gift. And we were talking here before we started, and I said, I'm going to introduce you guys not necessarily by your accolades, but by your gifts. Janie is a phenomenal mentor. Guys, you don't have to be the best at one particular thing. People look at me and they go, if I'm not a good enroller like you, then I am not going to be successful. Janie is an unbelievable world-class mentor in this company. She's an early millionaire and she's responsible for so many successful people. They call her the millionaire maker. One of the people that she helped to create $1 million is Betsy Frame. And you look at Betsy, one of our co-partners in this training, Betsy is phenomenal. She makes you feel 100 feet tall. She makes you feel like anything is possible. And Betsy is a trainer. Her gift is training people to do this. And she is responsible for the success of so many people. You look at someone like Kelly Dickerhoof and Jill Bowman, people that were leading this business. They were taught how to lead. They were taught how to do this business by Betsy Frame. And what an incredible opportunity to have her be a part of this training. Joining from New Mexico. She is an incredible, incredible leader. And we're so blessed to have her on. And she'll be doing some training as we go through. And last, we have Lauren Sims. And Lauren and I we were mentored together by Janie Elo. If you know our story, how that we were cross-mentored. We're cross-line. We're not financially connected, but she quickly became one of my best friends. She's a reason that I know accountability matters. Why, when you're gathered with a group, I know how much it changes everything. Because Janie mentored us at the same time, and Lauren's business is absolutely flourishing. I don't think I've ever seen anyone that can enroll like Lauren. If you've ever met her, if you've driven her in a cab or an Uber, if you've sat next to her at a bar, you've been with her on a trip, you were her seatmate on a plane, you were enrolled in Isogenics. There's not even another alternative because she can enroll like no one I've ever seen. She's a master enroller. And I tell you about the people that are doing this training because I want you to know we're going to deliver exceptional content. But moreover, I want you to know everyone has a unique gift. And what is yours? What do you love doing most in Isogenics? What do you love? Find your gift, because we need every strength, every God-given talent on this team. I want to take a second because Travis said about celebrating success. So on behalf of all of us, I want to just recognize a few people. Sandy Gilman. Sandy, you're unbelievable with the 5-cycle bonus. Fabulous. And I love part of Betsy Frame's team also, Grant Gilman. How cool is this? He wrote a song about eat more plants that he posted in Start, And Eric Hoover on the spot immediately awarded him an NYKO ticket because the song was so brilliant. So Grant Gilman, you rock. On Lauren's team, everybody saw it, right? It was so good. On Lauren's team, Patty, I hope I'm saying your last name, Baseplug. Patty, you're amazing. You had your highest cycle week, 8 cycles, girl. I don't even know if I'm that good at the math. I think it's 440. That's some major money. So good job on your highest cycle week. And Miranda, you have 5 enrollments last week. It's just incredible. So we want to shout you out, Miranda. That is amazing. Part of Jandy's team, we've got Kathleen Dugan, Kathleen and Mandy and Sam Vasallo. They had their highest enrollment week last week. They had 4 enrollments. Guys, that's amazing. Let's give them an all round of applause. We should be clapping for everyone. So Joni Allen on Janny's team, also 5 cycle bonus. 5 cycles is a humongous deal, and that $250 bonus is amazing. We have Mike and Jeannie Nader. Mike and Jeannie Nader with a 1-star bonus, 10 cycles. Great job, guys. On my team, I just want to give a quick shout out to Bruce and Mary Montero. These people are so in action, and they did a lot to prepare for tonight, besides the fact they enrolled 5 people last week, and they had their team just in massive action, just mentoring. Aaron Parker in Boca Raton, Florida, hit Crystal Executive. Awesome. Kara Fisher, Crystal Manager. And we had Mike Choop. Mike Choop is an unbelievable animal. The guy enrolled 9 people last week. 9 people, and called me and said, I'm mad I didn't hit 10. 9. So I just want to tell you guys, amazing. There are so many stars. And in this 90-day game plan, prepare, because there's going to be so much recognition and so many stars, and it will very likely be you. All right. With that, I want to introduce one of our recognition recipients, which is Mary Montero. Mary's going to be highlighting a product for us. And Mary, I'm excited for you to talk.
Hi, everybody. I hope you can see me here. I was asked to show a couple of our products and talk about the importance of them. So thank you very much for that opportunity. The first product is our sleep support and renewal. I don't know how many of you use this, but this is like my lifeline here. I absolutely love it. It improves the quality of sleep. It supports our restfulness so we can fall asleep faster. And it delivers a sustained released amount of melatonin, which is essential, obviously, for our sleep cycle. So who should take it and why should we take it? Melatonin has actually been known to start declining at a young age of 20. I can't even believe that. I mean, I think 20-year-olds seem like they have so much energy, but it actually starts declining at 20 years old. By the time you hit 30, we actually don't have enough melatonin for our sleep cycle. So if you're 30 or over, or you're having issues like I dealt with insomnia for a long time, this is an amazing, amazing product. Just a little quick story of also how it can help you with weight loss as well, because many people don't know that. Hibernating animals such as bears, as well as humans, have a brown fat and white fat. White fat is what we don't want, and brown fat helps keep our body heated. So when a bear goes into hibernation, their melatonin kicks in. It converts their white fat that they don't want into brown fat that keeps them heated during the winter months while they're in hibernation. And they lose weight while they're sleeping. I mean, how great and awesome is that? So this can help you with weight loss as well. There's over-the-counter melatonin, and then there's our sleep spray. This is superior because over-the-counter, I tried it many, many times. That has to actually be digested. It breaks down, and it has to go through our liver before we're actually reaping the benefits. This is brilliant in the fact that we're spraying it directly on our tongue, 1 to 3 pumps, and it's sitting right there, and it's being absorbed quickly into our brain and into our bloodstream. So for anybody that needs this, this is a wonderful, amazing product. I will not go without it. My husband actually sometimes has to take it out of my hand at night. So that's our sleep spray. Our next one is our brain boost and renewal. And this is very important. I've been using this every day. It provides brain antioxidant protection. It promotes mental clarity and concentration and supports memory. I don't know about you, but we've probably all experienced walking into a room and trying to figure out what we were just walking into that room for. Studies are showing that our memory starts to decline as young as 35 years old. That's just crazy. So brain expert Michael Kogan and some isogenic scientists got together and they decided to test this product out. So they measured some cognitive abilities of so many subjects and beforehand, and then they put them on this brain boost and renewal for 6 weeks, and then they measured those subjects, the cognitive abilities in those subjects afterwards. And what they noticed was an increase in brain speed, balance, and decision making. So again, another awesome product. You use 3 capsules, and it's really important to take it in the morning. That's the best time to take it on an empty stomach. So that's our brain boost. The last one that I wanted to talk about is that stubborn belly fat that we deal with. There's a great couple of products. We call it the BBB, or Bedtime Belly Buster, and it involves our Isopro whey protein, which comes in vanilla or chocolate. It involves either Isofruit, or if you want, you can use the Isogreen. So some people prefer the Isopro Whey Pro chocolate with the Isogreens, and some people prefer the Isopro Whey Protein vanilla with the Isofruit. You take these 2 products, you mix it with 4 to 5 ounces of water and some ice cubes if you want. You take it 30 minutes to 60 minutes before bedtime. That whey protein stimulates your metabolism. So you are actually burning calories while you're sleeping. Like, how much better can it get? You're burning calories while you're sleeping. And then you take that spray, the sleep spray, afterwards. And like I said, the advantages of that to weight loss on top of it. So you would use those 2 products, mix it with water, 30 to 60 minutes before bed, and then 20 minutes before bed, add the sleep spray, and you're golden. Okay? Thank you all very much.
Nice job, girl. So the person that I have the privilege to bring it up next, you guys are going to see that throughout the next 12 weeks. We've got a flow, some fun guest speakers. We want to make sure that you're always learning about new products. We wouldn't have a business without the products, then also working on our core area beliefs. So I want to introduce someone who is not only one of our 3-star Golden Star girls, she is a 6-figure income earner with Isogenics. She has a massive team in New Jersey. Now she's building a second business in Missouri, but she's fun. She loves this company. She loves lighting you up. So Miss Lori, are you there?
I am. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Lauren. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about over the next 12 weeks is our belief and the importance of having belief around our products, around our industry of network marketing, around Isogenics, and of course around belief in ourselves and our ability to be successful in this business. And so tonight I thought the best place to start would be with belief in our products. Really good place to get started. So how do we build our belief in our products? And one of the things that Lauren has always taught me from the very, very beginning is you have to be a 10 out of 10 in all areas of your belief. So her example is always, you know, if you were dating this guy and you're madly in love and he said, hey, honey, I really want to marry you. I'm about a 9 out of 10 that I want to spend the rest of my life with you, right? The chances are you're probably going to say, well, what about that 1%? I'm not going to marry you, right? You're not a 10 out of 10. And so our prospects and the people that we're looking to reach out and support, they need us to be a 10 out of 10. They need us to believe 100% in our products. So how do we build our belief? How many of you got started with Isogenics just for the products? Just show of hands. Great. How many of you, just by show of hands, have had an amazing product experience? Perfect. That's the best place to get started building your belief in the products, right? We want to be sure that we use the products. We want to be a product of the product, as they say. So if you're not putting the products in your body every single day, it's going to be really hard to be congruent in talking to our prospects about what we do. So we want to be a product of the product. We want to use the products every single day. We have over 70 products That's a lot. Some of you who are new, you're probably just getting started, but as time goes on, you want to be familiar with as many products as possible. What I love about Isagenix is this company provides solutions. We are solutions based. This is not just about weight loss, although some of us get started for weight loss, right? And we have amazing transformations around weight loss. But we also have other solutions, right? We have performance solutions. We have energy solutions. We have healthy aging solutions. So we want to make sure we're familiar with these solutions. And the key here is everyone's journey is different. So maybe you got started for weight loss. I know my personal journey when I got started had a couple of things going on. Some of it was energy related and definitely weight loss related. And I, at the time, really couldn't relate a whole lot to people who were athletes. So what do we do about that? How do we continue to build our belief around all of our different solutions? The very, very best thing we can do is use our team and use our tools. So once you're a product of the product, you've had an amazing transformation that you can share. It's really, really important at that point that you make sure as you're sharing with people, and I hear this a lot, well, you know, I got started for weight loss, but I want to talk to people at my gym. What do I do? Or I'm an athlete. I don't know anything about weight loss. We have an amazing, amazing team that all of us work with. We need to utilize that team. We need to utilize three-way calls that will help us build our belief in some of the other solutions that Isagenix offers. So, you know, what I always recommend to my team is, hey, you know what? You're an athlete. You don't know a lot about weight loss, but let's connect that prospect up to somebody on our team who's had an amazing transformation with weight loss. So it may sound something like, you know, hey, Mary, I have a really good friend. She lost 25 pounds. She feels absolutely amazing. I know that's what your goal is. Let's jump on the phone. I'm sure she can answer all your questions. So utilize your team. The other component of that is utilizing the tools. Isagenix provides us hands down the most amazing, amazing tools for this business. So whether it's, you know, IsaMovies that we use, or whether it's isaproduct.com or isagenixhealth.net, we need to utilize those tools. In the beginning, I felt like I needed to be a product expert. Anybody ever have that feeling like, oh my gosh, I need to know everything about everything in case anybody asks? Yeah. Anybody? Just me? Oh, 2 people. Perfect. So the important thing is you don't need to know everything. You need to know what tools are available, and you need to direct people to them. That is duplicatable. The minute you know everything about a product, nobody else that you introduce Isagenix to will ever be able to duplicate what you do. So isagenixhealth.net, isaproduct.com, absolutely critical that we direct people to it. I'm going to share a super fast story. My very, very dear friend, Jennifer Feichter, I'm sure she's on here somewhere with Adam. It's hard to tell, there's so many of us. But when she had an amazing product experience, she cleansed, she felt amazing, her energy was up, and she was on fire, and she started sharing. And there's 2 things she did. She went to Crystal Executive in 5.5 weeks, everybody, 5.5 weeks. And this is how she did it. She had that amazing product experience. And when people, she would share with everyone, oh my gosh, I feel amazing. You need to do this. You'll feel amazing too, right? And they'd say, well, what's in it? And she would say, well, I have no idea. I just feel amazing. Here, I'll send you a link. Or here, hop on the phone with my friend Laura. Or hop on the phone with my friend Lauren. Or whoever. She didn't know anything about the product. She didn't want to know all the gory details, but she knew how to master the tools and how to master a 3-way call. And she raced to Crystal Executive by being enthusiastic, by being a product of the product, by using 3-way calls, and definitely using the tools that are available to us. So I love that story. I just wanted to share that with you, how effective that is. So you take the pressure off yourselves that you need to know everything about these products. You'll build your belief by listening in on 3-way calls. You'll build your belief in the product by connecting with other team members and by using the tools and referring people. There's a couple of other really amazing tools that we can use outside of isagenixhealth.net and isaproduct.com. Isagenix spends millions of dollars on research on scientific research on these products. Get familiar with that research. So we've got the Skidmore study, absolutely phenomenal, tied to weight loss, amazing research study. Share it with people. Send it to them. You don't have to know all the gory details, but share it with people. Amazing research and studies on healthy aging around telomere support, and product B, right? And what we've done around healthy aging. Share that research with people. You don't have to regurgitate it. You don't have to verbally vomit on anybody. Share the studies with them. We now have some preliminary research and studies coming out on our performance line, our AMPed line as well. Absolutely phenomenal. Share it with people. Send it out. That's duplicatable. That will build your business, and it will build your belief as well. And then the last thing that I want to say about belief in the product is get to a core event. If you have not been to one of the 4 core events in Isagenix, you need to get to one. They build belief in all areas, but Isagenix hands down puts together the most professional, most amazing events for our associates. And one of the things that you'll gain at one of any of those core events is a firm 10 out of 10 belief in our products. The scientists are there, they speak about the products, they share the products, they have product information booths set up. It is the most powerful way that you can possibly build your belief in these products. And the other areas of belief as well, but definitely around our products. So a core event, NYKO is coming up in January. If you made it to Celebration, awesome. You know what I'm talking about, building your belief around the products. If you haven't been to Celebration yet, you're looking for your next event, there's blitzes going on, but the 4 core events are critical. I would strongly encourage you to get your ticket immediately to NYKO in January. It will do nothing but help you drive and build your business as well. So Lauren, that was what I had around building your belief in our products.
You're dead awesome, because now I want to go to NYKO.
Well, thanks.
Hey, before I turn this over, you guys, and thank you so much for that. It's so true about being a product of the product. Jessica did such an amazing job of, tooting all of our horns, that I've got like a bunch of people in here laughing that I probably enrolled them all in a taxi cab. But I really want to do the justice to Jessica, and she is someone that is so hardworking, so driven, so committed to her team. And this is the girl that, for those of you that don't know her, except that you said you probably received a text message at one of these times, she's the first up in the morning, the last to bed, will make sure she's multitasking to the fullest to help whoever it takes, and really just sees what Isagenix can do. And there is not a single person, I believe, in the company that can really cast the vision of what Isagenix will do for you and what's available. So with no further ado, I would love to bring her out to kick off our official 90-day week 1 training. You there, Jess?
I'm here. All right. Thank you so much. So Laura, that was awesome. I thought Mary made me, I'm upset because I forgot to take my brain boost today, and I'm feeling like my memory recognition may not be on peak. But I will tell you, Laura, I agree with Lauren. I love what Jen Fichter did, where she was just passion on fire. She had such confidence in the products. And when you're a 10 out of 10, you're so right. The first week of the 90-day game plan, guys, is about vision and focus. And so I want you to all close your eyes for 1 second. I want you to close your eyes for real. Just honor this for 1 second. Close your eyes. We have 90 days. So here you are. It's August the 22nd. Do you understand how your life could transform in 90 days? In 90 days from the day I decided yes to the business, I was almost retired from a multiple 6-figure corporate job. Do you understand what 90 days could do for you? I want you to envision what could possibly happen. If I told you that you could go from making nothing today to making $10,000 a month in 90 days, it's for real with this opportunity. I want you to see what will happen. But most of all, I want you to try to envision what Travis said. Who can I help? See the faces of the people that if you commit to this, you will bless. See what the faces look like. But guys, here's what you don't see. When you bless one person with Isagenix, you don't see the army of people behind them, that ripple effect. You don't see, when you look at the life that you look at my life and you see the blessings. You don't see my husband who has a wife that's finally home. You don't see 3 kids that got their mom back instead of a live-in nanny. And you don't see the 3 foster children that we've already had in our home. You don't see any of that. But think about it, guys. The people, when you get into action and you bless, that's the faces that I want to flash before your eyes. But when you think about who can I help, I want you to see yourself in a mirror. Right now, envision your own face. Because if you take advantage of the 90-day game plan, you will help yourself and you will see a different person that you become at the end of 90 days. So open your eyes. And I want you to say something that I feel like so many people have not said. I have someone in the room right now, Janelle Grimm. Janelle's a great friend of mine. We were down at the beach. We were down with a couple of leaders. We went on a beach getaway down to my house. And we were walking on the beach. And I was like, Janelle, I want you to declare to the world, I am a 6-figure earner in Isagenix and I will bless so many people. And she did. And it was like this freeing thing that you'd never done. So right now, out loud, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. For some of you, it's the first, thank you, Denise. That's excellent. Yes, she can. It's the first time some of you are saying it or feeling it with passion. Yes, I can. Who can I bless? That's where we're going. Give us 90 days. If it's too much for you, Kathy Coover launched us last night like a rocket ship. And if she said it's too much for you to think about 90 days, break it into 30-day increments. Because here in your heart, you commit to this, and I trust me, give us 90 days. Commit to the Monday night. Commit to fast track. Do the homework. Do the work. And emblazoned in your soul, yes, I can. And that's where you're going. You've got to have a reason why you do it, because I promise you the world will throw at you a lot of reasons why you shouldn't do it, why you couldn't do it, and why you're not capable of doing it. Why you don't have, what did Travis say? Why you don't have the time, why you can't do it, and why it's not worth it. But I promise you those voices are distractions, because the 4 of us are here to tell you it is so darn worth it. We've got a room of 50 people here, and I promise you, I can look in each of their eyes and say, it is worth it, and you deserve it. You deserve it, and so do the legions of people behind you that you will bless. But you need to lock in. If some of you were at my training at ICU Newark, and you heard that I'm all about North Star, you got to find a North Star. So if you followed my journey at all in our family, we have dedicated our lives to a little boy. He's 3.5 years old. And we've learned that we are going to have him till at least Christmas. And I'll tell you, in 90 days, we are going to change that little boy's life, because I picked one of the best schools for him and we're pouring into it. And honestly, you know what Isagenix does? Isagenix lets me say, I will take you to Disney. I will put you in the best school. I will give you the most magical summer you've ever had in your life. Because what you're a part of is way more than about shakes. It's not about shakes. It's about blessings. And you need to lock in on what you want out of the next 90 days. Yes, you can, coupled with what you want. And it's gasoline on a fire. It's gasoline to a match, guys. It is everything. Know why you're doing it right now. You gathered here, you got on a Zoom, you got into a group. Why? What do you expect to have happen? You need a goal at the end of 90 days where we're on a fast track to executive. If you're already executive, go again. Lauren has gone executive, I don't know, 4 times, Lauren, at least 5, 6. You've gone executive so many times. Go again. Build leaders, build depth, rank advanced people. Know your goals. Tonight, when we shut down the Zoom, my team's going to put together, people that are ready to do it are going to put together some vision boards. We're going to have a clear-cut vision and focus. And when you walk out of the doors tonight, probably the minute you walk out, you'll get a text from someone that's negative, something that's going to draw you out, something that's going to tell you why you shouldn't do this, why it's a mistake, why you're not worth it, why you can't do it, why you don't have the time, why family, etc. All these distractions and things that are going to try to pull you out of the game. If you commit right now that you're focused on the North Star, nothing can deter you, nothing can pull you out. And that's where success. That's where rubber meets the road and success happens. The magic is in the power of focus on 90 days. You've lived a lot of 90 days in your life, guys. You've lived a lot of trimesters. You all have lived these. 90 days is going to pass for us all. November is going to come. You are the only one that can decide if your tomorrow is going to look way different than your tonight. And I'm telling you, give it 90 days. Leaders like Betsy Frame, who is going to come on and she's going to tell you what she did. Be one of the leaders in this company that points to Betsy and says, because Betsy told me how to do it, because I did the work, because people believed in me, I'm making it happen. I'm not going to be sidelined. I'm not going to be taken out of the game. If you're like me, I'm a really good starter. I start a lot of things. I start doing projects at home. I would try to organize my closet. I'm a horrific finisher in stuff where I'm not anchored in. But I will tell you what, I will finish with Isagenix. I will finish this 90-day game plan so strong, and I'm committed. So one more time, maybe with more feeling than the first time you said it. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And Lauren, that's all I got for you.
I unmuted as they were still chanting. Hi, you guys. This is awkward to like have my back towards them, but like kind of see them. I think I know what you mean when you're like, can you see us? So are you guys fired up a little bit? A little bit? Woo! The Rigner house is packed. So if you guys went on today to your training center and logged in, you know, it said day one, there was this awesome video of Kathy and there was a focus, you know, and the idea of this is just like Travis laid out 6 simple steps for us, 6 simple things that we can do. Each week we want you to master a skill, you know, each week we want you to focus on something. You can't like bite the whole elephant like at the very first time. And throughout the next 12 weeks, just like Jess said, like we're committed, you know, we're gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that you guys reach your goals. And when she said, close your eyes and vision where your life can be 90 days from right now, right? Think about that. And we're gonna hold you to that. And we're gonna meet here and we're gonna PM you and we're gonna text you and we're gonna do 3-way calls. And we're gonna do launch parties and everything that it takes to make sure that you get there. But both of us are doing this 90-day game plan, not for the first time, not for the second time, not for the third time. We rank advance every single time, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that we were coachable. When Janny asked us to do something, we did it. She said be accountability partners, we did it. She said have launch parties, we did it. She said do calls, we did it. And it's because we had a vision, we had a why. We knew that there was something deeper inside of us that we wanted to come to real life. We knew that there was somewhere that we wanted to go than where we were right now. But there was 2 incredible skills that helped us get there. One of them was connecting, and the other one was time management. And so that's the little bit that I'm gonna touch on. And we don't have obviously a full hour of training, and we know that it's gonna take a time to learn some of this. One of my absolute favorites is what Kathy Coover talked about last night, Janny talked about, which is Kathy Coover's call, Master the Art of Connecting. I mean, she literally used to go into the mall to go and meet people. It was before social media, right? Before text message blitz. And she would figure out different ways to go meet people. She has a line that she would go and sit at a makeup counter and get her makeup done. And when someone would do this great makeover, she would go, oh my gosh, you're so good at this. You must make a ton of money. And they would be like, no. And she goes, well, would you like to learn how to make a ton of money? You know, there was all these different one-liners is what I call them. And so we did our vision boards last night, and I'm so fortunate that these people came back today. I haven't totally scared them away in 48 hours yet, but we're actually going to do a lot of role playing. And so for some of you that have gotten in together, you know, and you're hanging out at Jen's house or you're at Keith's house or Adrian's house, and I'm watching you guys, I mean, I would absolutely encourage you to do some role playing. Give yourselves hypothetical situations on how you can connect with people. I did 4 hours today of mentoring with my team, and the number one question that everybody was asking me is, what do I say to people? What do I say at the store? What do I say at the gym? What do I say to my neighbors? What do I say when I get in the Lyft driver? And honestly, I lead halfway with the product, I lead halfway with the business, but you wanna be a master question asker. You wanna be an interviewer. You wanna focus on getting to their goals, right? And the initial thing that I do is create curiosity. You just wanna be a lead generator. And then converting that lead to a conversation, I'm gonna tell you exactly how things go sometimes, exactly. And there's probably people in this room that truly have witnessed it and can attest to this. So I recently took a Lyft to the airport and met someone that drove me to the airport, right? And I wasn't gonna talk about Isagenix the whole way. It's like a 40-minute car ride. But at some point I wanted to make sure I got the contact information. So throughout the drive, I was making conversation, you know, like, where are you from? Are you from Colorado? How long have you lived here? Why did you move here? Do you have kids? What do they do? Like, I'm just building rapport so that she's not going to be freaked out when I ask her for her number, right? And then at one point I said, how long have you been driving for Lyft? Found out she'd been driving for a couple months. And I said, why did you choose to do this? I mean, you guys probably know the answer, but she said, I'm looking for additional income. I mean, that was literally what she said. She goes, our family could benefit from additional income. And I said, I'm sure. I said, a lot of people are like that. I said, I used to exchange time for money. So I related to her. And I said, if there was a way that you could earn the same income without putting on these miles on your car, being home with your kids, is that something you would be interested in? You know, is that something you would be open to learning more about? People say yes, and I say, awesome, I would love your name and number, and I'll follow up with you this week. You know, I'm not in the car necessarily trying to enroll and have her watch a video while she's driving, right? I just wanted the contact information. So then when we get on the phone, because people will say to me after they do that, they've successfully prospected a waitress, they've successfully prospected a bartender, right? They have someone's information. They were able to say, hey, you're phenomenal. I would love to introduce you to an opportunity, or I think you would partner with us great, right? And then they're like, what video do I send? And I'm like, well, what do you know about them, right? People skip this next step, which is where you really want to connect to find out what video you would send them. So when I call someone, I might text her, right? And I'm like, hey, Paige, it's Lauren. You took me to the airport last week. And she's like, oh, awesome. You know, good to hear from you. And I'll say something like, when do you have a minute to chat? You know, like, and when we get on the phone, I will ask a lot of questions. You know, I mean, any of the trainers in Isagenix will tell you, ask 10 questions to every one that they're going to ask you. So it might start with like, how's your day? How, you know, what are you doing? What have you been up to? How was your weekend? Like, I'm just asking a conversation. And then I'll say things like, I'm so excited to connect with you. Is it okay if I, you know, ask you a few questions? I want to get to know you. And the first thing I always ask is their health. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your health? Are there areas that you would like to improve your health? Of your weight, of your energy, of your sleep, of your mood, of your physical performance, right? And let them talk. Try to answer or ask open-ended questions, right? Like, get them to tell you more. And then I will say things like, you know, I know some of these questions might sound silly, but I'm curious because I really, really like to know people's, you know, dreams. I'd like to know their ambitions. If time and money were of no issue, what would you be doing? I ask them things like, are you fulfilled right now? Do you love your job? Do you wake up with passion, right? Do you feel like you have purpose? And I'm trying to get to that. And then I'll say something like, hey, it's okay. I'd love to share a little bit about my story with you. And I share my story, 30-second story. And then I say, this is why I thought you compliment them. I'm like, if you're open to learning more, or if this is something that interests you, I'd love to send you some more information. And then you send the video, then you send the 3-way call. I literally can connect with anyone in really, really quick time. If you're great at complimenting and you're okay asking for information. Most people are so nervous that they're gonna say no, right? And what's the worst that happens? They say no, you will probably never see them again. So 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I was at First Bank with my mom. We were opening up a new savings account, and the woman had an array of beverages. You know, she had like a coffee, a Diet Coke, some other beverage that wasn't water. And I like made a joke right when we were about to leave. And I was like, wow, I was like, you've got a variety of beverages over there. And she's like, I know. And she said something, here's my morning coffee, my afternoon coffee. She had like a Diet Coke on there or anything. And I just said, you know, I'm really passionate in the health and wellness industry. If you're at all open to learning how to maybe not need all of those, I would love to share something with you. I mean, she gave me her business card in record time, right? And then I was out the door. Like, I didn't have to do the whole thing then. And then I'm like, hi, it's Lauren. I met you at the bank. We talked about the Diet Coke. You can send, are you toxic? And that type of thing. And so when you're connecting with people, I want you to just always remember that you're building relationships. You're asking a ton of questions. You're getting to know them. I think so often we want to solve the problem. And so I'm going to use an analogy that if one of my good girlfriends called me, right, and was like, oh my gosh, I've had the worst day ever, I'm not going to try and fix her and make her feel better until I know what happened, right? Because if she broke up with her boyfriend, I'm going to do something totally different than if she says I had a flat tire and bounced or whatever that may be. And so I just want to just encourage you guys that before you try and jump to the solution, right? Before you're trying to answer a problem, like, get to know them, build that relationship, spend 5, 10, 15 minutes on the phone, truly connecting, ask questions and relate. When people say things that you can relate to, share that. I remember when I used to feel that way. Oh my gosh, my kids are the exact same way. Oh, I used to live in Chicago. Like, whatever comes up, connect with them. Like, think of it as a first date, you know, it's like a ping pong ball going back and forth, and just really start to establish trust. The second thing tonight that we're gonna focus on just a little bit before we dive into our local interactions here is time management. And when we saw the 4 bullets for the 90-day game plan, I mean, it was almost immediately that, like, Janny was like, you got to talk about time management, because I built this business to 3-star in a matter of months in the pockets of my time. I'm not married and I don't have kids, so I don't know what those distractions are like. But I used to work from 4 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. I worked 80 to 100 hours a week. For those of you that don't know my story, I worked 7 days a week around the clock from job to job to job to job. And when Janny first introduced Isagenix to me and cast the vision of what my life could look like, when Travis said, what are people thinking, right? I can't afford it. I can't do this. I don't have the time to do this. I mean, I did not have the time to do this. And Janny said powerful things to me, like, how would you like to never have to say that again? How can we make time so that you have more time in your life, right? And I got really disciplined in my schedule. And when I started looking at my time management, I decided the doctor's office closed from 1 to 2 every day, right? I could do 4 15-minute calls. If I was efficient, if I had the questions lined up, if they had been qualified, if they had looked at a video, I could do 4 15-minute calls. Lori is someone on the call tonight that knows what it was like to call that doctor's office and in 15 minutes get a pace setter pack, and neither of us knew what happened, but she's still here today, so it must have been okay, right? Like, he says 5 minutes. And, you know, I decided I was going to become a great multitasker. And what I mean by that is I committed in September of 2013, almost 3 years ago, I wasn't going to listen to music at the gym. I wasn't going to listen to music when I meal prepped. I wasn't going to listen to music, you know, when I got ready in the morning. I bought a portable loud Bose speaker so that I could blare Susan Slide, I could blare Lynn Hagedorn, and I could blare Lisa DeMeo, and I would learn these skills while I was doing something else that by the time I got on the phone, I didn't feel like I was hearing or speaking Iso-Latin. I decided I was going to get up earlier and I was going to stay up later. When I was driving from job to job, I had appointments scheduled. I blocked out my time. And when you guys get really clear with your schedule, I mean, I love to go through people's daily method of operations and look at what exactly are you doing. And so treat this like another job. If you're a teacher, right, and you work 8 to 3 in the school district, and let's just say you had another job where you went to the bar from 4 to 10. When you left the school, you're no longer teaching. And when you're at the bar, you're probably not teaching. You've got to kind of discipline your time. So for those of you working a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 4, don't necessarily try and do Isagenix at that time. But when you sit down to do Isagenix, even if it's only 1 hour a night, when the kids are to bed, everything else is done, make sure you're doing income producing activities, right? Don't sit there and get ready to get ready. When you sit down, you should know exactly who you're enrolling, exactly who you're working on following up with. I did a 90-day kickoff webinar last night, and I said, I have my whiteboard done. You know, if I have 3 appointments set, but they show me which one happened today, I can look at the whiteboard and say, okay, Alyssa's working on manager. I need to look at her business. Who's a consultant? Who's a pirate? Who's inactive? Who can we get active? What do I need to tell her exactly what she needs to do that she can hit manager by Sunday, right? And then you have to just be so disciplined with your time. If you're sitting on the sofa with your honey, watching TV, scrolling through Facebook, that doesn't count as doing your Isagenix, right? So be really, really disciplined. I would encourage you guys, if you have not already done it, and this is the exercise we're going to do here tonight, write out your calendar. Figure out exactly when you're doing Isagenix. You know, if you're doing it in the pockets of your time, I tell people, have a recruiting day and have a follow-up day. Have a recruiting day, have a development day. So on Tuesday nights from 4 to 6, if that's when you're actively prospecting, connecting on Facebook, doing a text message blitz, calling people, you know, maybe on Thursday nights is when you do your follow-up. Thursday nights is when you have your 3-way calls. Thursday nights is when you're teaching your people how to go consultant. But know exactly of your income producing activities, what you're doing. People can be so busy and waste a lot of time. Like Travis said, if you don't have 5 appointments this week, your business is not exploding. When Jessica said, close your eyes, where do you want to be in 90 days? You guys, it's Monday. You can have 5 appointments still by Sunday. So just get really, really clear on your schedule and have those conversations with your friends. Have those conversations with your family members on what you're doing, so people don't think you're weird, that all of a sudden you're not going out, right? Or all of a sudden you don't believe in TV or movies or distractions. But look at your schedule, and when you really map it out to the minute, sometimes to the hour, right? Like, when do you take little Johnny to soccer, and when are you going to the gym, and when are you at your job, and when is date night? And you see you have a 90-minute window that you're going to fill in Isagenix. Don't sell yourself short and say 90 minutes, I'm going to listen to 2 podcasts, call 10 people, I'm going to do 3 three-way calls. It's not going to happen, right? But I think you should be clear, set reminders for yourself. Do a morning Facebook post, a lunch Facebook post, and a dinner Facebook post that by the time you sit down at night, you've got leads. You've got people that have been pinging you all day long because all you had to do is throw 3 social media posts out there. You know, do text splits. I do them during times that I know people are not available. I stay up that extra hour late. Jessica and I used to love doing this. We would be up at midnight, 1 in the morning. It was only me, Jess, and Janny up, sending Facebook messages, sending text messages, knowing that we weren't going to get a lot of replies because we could get that much more of an output that by the time we woke up in the morning, we had so many replies and we could schedule those appointments in those pockets of the times that we were ready to enroll. So if you guys have any specific questions, man, I would encourage you guys, you know, to reach out to Jess or Janny or Betsy or me or whatever it is. But when you think about the pockets of your time, just get really clear. What are the things that are going to get you paid? I've told my team, I would much rather you never get on a team call and never get on a podcast and call 3 people a day if that's all you have time for. So I know we're going to end the recording and sign off. I'm going to let Janny and Betsy, if they want, hop out and say anything. But just get so clear on this. And for those of you that are in local groups, I know the East Coast people have decided to kind of do vision boards tonight, but you've got team members with you. I would encourage to do some role playing. I'm going to give them some scenarios. I'm going to give them hypothetical situations of like, hey, you're checking out at the grocery store and this woman's got a bunch of Red Bull in the cart behind her. What do you do, right? Hey, you're at the gym and you see someone with muscle milk. What do you do? I'm going to throw out examples. They didn't even know this is about to happen. Now they just found out. To give them the training so that they can practice in this room, they're equipped when they end up at Whole Foods, right? When they end up at the gym. And we're gonna go through people's calendars and say, okay, what are your isogenic hours? What's income producing? Like what is not? Where can you clear up time? Where can you say, okay, I go to the gym 90 minutes a day. Maybe for the next 90 days, I'm gonna go 45 minutes. I'm gonna work twice as hard when I'm there. I'm gonna eliminate the distractions and I'm just gonna do what I need to do because that clears up more time. Asking for help, you know, with your kiddos, having other people be a part and involved, that some of you super moms can free up some time to do this or whatever that is. So we're going to go through the schedules. We're going to role play. And I encourage you guys that are together, do it. It's a little awkward, but if you can do it with each other, you can absolutely do it out in the real world. So Jessica, thank you so much for casting the vision. I'm fired up. I'm excited to run with you. And Betsy and Janny, do you guys have anything that you want to unmute and hop out and say before we wrap up week 1? Or Jess, anything else? You're muted, mamas.
Are we gonna end with our mantra every week, right?
Yeah, I'm in. But I think we should unmute for everybody to do this. What do you think? Okay.
Yeah, I agree. So every week, so if you
No, we do it amongst us.
we follow the format that people are already record numbers of hitting.
Yeah.
How they end every week. Yes,
Oh, because we're unmuted.
All right, awesome. What we're gonna do is we're gonna all together end this. We're gonna end our first Fast Track to Executive with "Yes, I Can." Everyone,
I'm gonna do it.
everyone. 1, 2, 3. Yes,
I can.
I can. There you go. Everyone.
Well, that was about.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.